Hello everybody, Mike1217 here, welcome back to Let's Play Twilight Princess. We are at the top of Snowpeak after climbing it in the last episode. And we have this bulky figure up here, and let's go see who he is. Looks like he has a fish on him, so this should be the reek fish that we were looking for. After all, we got the scent earlier, and this is what led us up here with the wolf. And this guy, I believe his name is Yeto. I don't understand this text here. He's like, oh, you're looking for your true self? What are you talking about? I don't know. This guy doesn't make sense. I'm just skipping through his text. But basically, he knows where the mirror is. Again, we're looking for the shard of the mirror, Twilight. And he found it, and he took it to his house, basically. So we're going to have to, basically, make our way down there. So let's just skip through this. I don't care about his text, because I don't like it. It doesn't make any sense. I don't like this guy's text. He's a likable character, but I don't know. He just doesn't make any sense. And as you can see here, he's riding this frozen leaf down like a snowboard, and we're gonna have to do the same thing. You might think this is gonna be hard, but it really isn't. It's pathetically easy. It's kind of a shame. I thought they could have added a little more challenge to this. I don't know, just because this game's too easy. So we're gonna jump on this, and this is kind of like that snowboarding game. I remember playing at the computer a lot with the Yeti. I forgot what it was called. You have to avoid a bunch of trees, and there's like a Yeti that comes out and eats you if you screw up. But yeah, there's like no obstacles to avoid. You can do this again, I believe, and like race the Yeti and get a heart piece out of it. Obviously, I can't do that, so I'm just gonna skip that. You can get like rupees and stuff along the ledges, but yeah, there's no challenge to this at all. You have to make like a few jumps. There's some ice keys to avoid, but I don't see the challenge here. You go really slow, strangely enough. But yeah, just avoid this crap. So yeah, we're making our way to the next temple, and I'm quite excited about this temple because this is probably my favorite temple in the game. Oh wow, look out for the trees here. This is kind of reminiscent of that game I was talking about. But yeah, this is coming up. We're gonna be taking on what, in my opinion, is the best temple of this game. And it's actually, in my opinion, one of the best temples of the entire series, really. It's quite good. And I'll be able to show you why once we get there. First, just avoid all this crap. There's a shortcut you can take. If you're actually doing the race and you're trying to get a good time here, there's a shortcut you can take. You can see it on the map, too. I do remember that race being hard, though, and I kind of wish I could do it just for the sake of challenge and fun, but oh well. Make two jumps here. I jumped way too early, but somehow I got away with it. Oh, man. Yeah, it's not fail when you say this is pathetically easy. And yeah, you can pull your sword. I guess, yeah, you can use your sword, but there's no reason to use it. And coming up on the end here. And this will take us to his house. So stylish there with Link whenever the snowboard breaks and he does like a backflip off of it. This game's so stylish. But yep, this is actually the temple. The Yeti's house is the temple, which right off the bat is one of the things I really like about this temple, is that it's just such a unique location. It's a freaking... It's a Yeti. We're in the house of the Abominable Snowman. That is this game's ice dungeon. And the reason why I like this temple so much is that it, in my opinion, it's really just how a Zelda temple should be. It's a nice balance of creative puzzles and also threatening enemies, which a lot of 3D Zelda dungeons don't really have threatening enemies. Right off the bat, we have a Poe here. I should be using this more in the pose. Wait, did that work? What the hell? What the hell was that? It's like a new enemy there that I didn't notice. But yeah, this temple has some pretty tough enemies that we don't see really anywhere else in the game. And it has some pretty difficult puzzles. Even like right off the bat, it's gonna have a really difficult puzzle. And let's go on through here. There's quite a few split paths you can go through, but I don't think you can actually get up to anything. So I'm just gonna go through here and see what we got. Now, this dungeon has a bit of a different concept, and it's hard to explain. Right here we have the Yeti's wife, Yeto, and she's sick. She's actually cursed, and and the mirror is located in her bedroom, but she's unable to take us to it because it's locked, and she's sick, so she can't quite lead us to where it is. So she's just going to show us where the key is, and she's going to give us the map of the mansion, which acts as the dungeon map. So they kind of turn this dungeon into a bit of a gimmick of being like in a home, but that's kind of what I like about it, is that they treat it a little bit differently, yet it still feels like a normal dungeon. So marked off on our map is where the boss key, at least according to her, where the boss key is. We're not exactly sure. And actually, I just kind of gave it away right there. Oh, there's a boss in this dungeon. What a big spoiler. Yeah, right. But we're just gonna kind of go with her instructions and follow where she marks off on our map for now, and then it'll change up later. Here is her husband. His husband, I was about to say. That's kind of weird. And he has this soup up here. Let's actually grab us some of this. He's making this soup. This soup he's making in order to actually give to his wife because she's sick. So he's being a good husband, trying to help her out. And I kind of skipped the text there. The soup actually heals 2 hearts. So very nice. That's a reason. That right there is the reason why I wanted to get an extra bottle, because we're going to be picking up the soup quite a bit, and we're going to be taking a lot of damage in this dungeon. So here we go. Right off the bat, we have an ice block pushing puzzle. This is something that's quite well known in the Zelda series, and this is actually pretty easy. My advice for doing ice block pushing puzzles, I explained this in my Minish Cap Let's Play. Start from your destination. You want to hit the switch. This switch will open this door here, and just start back and work your way to your destination. So we have this ice in the middle here that's gonna kind of come into play later. What I'm gonna do is push this one over here, and now we want to get, there's 2 blocks we can push. We want to get the other one up against this, and actually, yeah, this is actually gonna be pretty easy. It should be easy. I think you just want to push this down. And you have to do this a couple times in this dungeon too, from what I remember. Yeah, just don't touch the ice, it'll freeze you and do like a full hearts of damage. But yeah, this is really easy to push this down. It seems like it'd be difficult, but it really isn't. I think later on we have to hit an air switch though. Yeah, we have to do this twice from what I remember. Yeah, push that around, that opens the door, and let's go on through here. Okay, so now we have this room here. We have ice blocked off, so we can't get through here. So now what we have to do is transform into a wolf and dig under into here. And this will take us to kind of the main room, kind of the middle room of the dungeon. It's outside. There's the boss door. I'm just gonna say it right now. That's the boss door. Obvious. It has a different looking lock on it though. It has like a nice heart on it. That is the bedroom that we're eventually trying to head towards. And that's where the mirror is. And we'll probably fight some kind of monster in there, knowing these Zelda dungeons. And in this middle area there is snow, so it's recommended that you always use Wolf Link here, because Wolf Link can move on the snow normally, while the human will kind of sink into it and move like a slug. Okay, so here we have something in this really. This is the annoying part about this part of the dungeon. So we have all these white wolves here. They're hard to kill. I should try more than midnight to hit these. I don't know. I don't see it being very useful. I'm just gonna try to ignore these guys. Right here, you can see something in the snow here. So let's dig it out. Let's try to. It's kind of, yeah. The senses actually don't point it out. But yep, this is a chest, and we can get a small key from it. I practiced the first part of the dungeon just so I can kind of get myself going. This chest has a red rupee. Just because, like, okay, I tried to record this earlier and my commentary sucked, so I'm just kind of getting myself off to a bit of a head start. So actually we didn't want to dig through there. What we want to do is turn over this way, because we have a door over here we can go through as a human. So let's do that. And from this point on, this is where the preview and practice ended right here. So we have these enemies. These are an example of the difficult enemies that are going to make this dungeon really hard. Because these guys, they slide around after you hit them. And once they hit you, they freeze you. And that's no good. Getting frozen... Actually, I just blocked him. That's the good thing to do, is have your shield up for these things once they move around. Take like 2 hits to take out. And you're going to see these quite a bit in the dungeon, and I really don't like them. Alright, so... yeah, the doors look really different in this dungeon than in other dungeons. So yeah, that was a locked door there. It's kind of hard to tell. So we have more of these guys. Crap, like all over the place too. Try to spin yourself out of this once you get frozen. As in, like, using your spin attack. And that was just a standard kill room, so there we go. Not too much else to that. So let's go in through here, and this should lead to the room where Yeto made the mark, or it should be close. There it is, that's the chest that probably has something in it. It should have the boss key in it. Of course, that doesn't look anything like a boss chest, so let's see what's in here. Kind of curious. And, oh boy, these guys. These are the worst enemies in the game, really. As in, like, the hardest enemies in the game. They have these spears, and they'll throw their spears sometimes, and they regain them, which is the hardest part about them. I'm gonna try to think of a different strategy about taking these out. Just always be dodging and moving, and typically you just want to break their spears and just slash the hell out of them once you do that. Their spears act as their defense and their offense, and they're the most lethal. They're some of the most lethal enemies in this game, and they will make this dungeon a real pain. But yeah, that's just part of the thing that I like about this dungeon, is that it puts on difficulty, and it feels like a classic Zelda dungeon, because we already just had 2 kill rooms, which is something mostly of the past of Zelda. We saw all the time in the original games. But as you can see with that chest, we got a pumpkin from it, so completely useless really coming this way. But we'll find out exactly what use this is once we get back to the main room. The living room, I guess it is, where Yeto is. Can we get out of here easily? I hope so. This should be, yeah, the block pushing room. This is an easy dungeon to get around too, which is nice. And these pumpkins, I believe you should be able just to give them to Yetis, or Yeto, or whatever the hell your name is. No? Okay, well, let's go back in here first. So we're gonna be all like, hey yo, what's the deal? God. that was like the worst attempt at being funny ever. Okay, so she being sick, she can't quite recall where the key is. She's trying to remember, so she says to bring the pumpkin to her husband, so let's do that. Can we? Okay, there we go. And he wants a pumpkin flavor. Very good flavor, by the way. Oh my god, pumpkin soup. Really good. I had that for the first time a couple days ago. So good. I used to just stick with pumpkin pie as my pumpkin type of food, but now I've branched out and found that the pumpkin flavor is really damn good. I love it. Add some pumpkin cake as well, which pretty much is the same thing as pumpkin pie, only not as creamy. I guess, well, we can make use of this soup quite a bit, so let's do that. Now we can scoop another one. And now it's good soup. Before it was simple soup, now it's good, and now it can restore 4 hearts, and this is, at this point, enhancing the soup any further is pretty irrelevant to us, because of course we have 3 hearts, so... But still, it's something we have to do to advance in the dungeon, so... I mean, we won't have to scoop the soup, which is really funny to say, scoop the soup. But anyway, yeah, I should be going back to the living room to talk to Yeto again. And let's see if she can remember where the key is. So now she's going to mark off a different room, and we're going to see if that is the correct room. It's a little bit further up, and I think she's also going to open a door for us. So that's kind of, you know, how this dungeon works. You go back to a place marked off in the dungeon, you find a pumpkin or some shitty item, then you come back and yell at her, and then she's like, oh, okay, she'll open a new door. But we have a bunch of doors in this living room that are closed off that she'll eventually open up as we bring back new stuff to her. So that's how this dungeon works, and we're going to continue on with this next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This is Mike 12 and 7, and I will see you next time.